Bill Barnwell from ESPN.com ranked the best 2023 NFL off-seasons, and he ranks the Browns number 19, so in the lower half of the league. And the rationale, I'm not sure they got the right players. Za'Darius Smith looked like a steal when he racked up 9.5 sacks over the Vikings' first 9 games last season, but managed only a half sack over the rest of the campaign. High risk, high reward trade for the Browns, even if they didn't give up much draft capital in the process. Also, wasn't crazy about the trade for Elijah Moore. Let's welcome in Casey Kinnamon from Dog Pound Daily. And Casey, if you don't like the trade, I get it, but they addressed a lot of needs, and I think 19 is awfully low. That's bottom half of the league.
Yeah, I'm all the way out on this take by Barnwell, and there's a lot of ways you could go, but let's start where he's right. So Za'Darius started 2022 on a tear. I mean, just 9 sacks, 50 pressures inside the first 9 games. Has an ankle injury, and then his production slumps. He had 1 sack. But in that same time span, he had 28 pressures. Buddy, let me tell you, if the Browns could have got 28 pressures by someone not named Myles Garrett, well, the defensive side of the ball looks much different. And as far as like the compensation, that's a nothing burger. They swap fifths for a 6th and a 7th down the line to go get a 1A guy to pair up with their generational pass rusher. Like, you make that trade 10 times out of 10. If you want to poke holes in how the Browns have built their roster, take your shots. But I wouldn't look at Za'Darius Smith to be the one to prove your point.
Yeah, and the Moore one is another one. The other thing is those pressures are probably more than everybody else on the defensive line when he's playing on in essence, one leg.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though he only got 1 sack out of that, that would have resulted in 3 or 4 more sacks for Myles had he been able to generate those pressures. So yeah, to me, that was a no-brainer. Getting Za'Darius Smith was a home run.
Yeah, and again, we'll see. It's just interesting that perspective exists out there.